Hello and welcome back. It's now time for another review and I'm having a brew. So it's a review with a brew. Hadn't rehearsed that at all. Okay, so today we're looking at the Zastone A28. Lovely little handheld radio. UHF. I think they do a VHF version as well. I'm not sure. I'm pretty certain they do. But this is the UHF. It's a 16 channel. Very small, very compact, but surprisingly, it feels one of the most sturdy radios that I've ever had, to be honest with you. I got this one last week. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate the use of the radio in that I don't have the correct programming lead for this. I've got the software. Software's easy. They sent me the link when I got the radio, but there's no lead. Now, the standard leads that you get with like the Veta or the other Zastone radio, the V-77, these are like the standard Kenwood leads, you know, the 2 pins. Unfortunately, this Zastone A28, it uses a slightly different lead in that the 2 pins are closer together. So I can't program this radio yet. I'm hoping to get a lead very soon. I'm just going to find one first. But I've had a bit of a play with it and so far I'm really impressed and I'm very excited to get this working so I can use it. The specifications I'll go through and I'll go through what you get in the box to go with this radio. It comes with a desktop drop-in charger. Again, the charger seems better quality than a lot of the other cheaper radios that you can get. This radio, incidentally, you pay about £40 for on eBay that I've seen. But I would say that so far in handling and sort of playing with this, it's got that expensive feel, that expensive quality to it. Something similar to that you get like with an Icon or you get like even a Motorola. I'm not sure on the facts with water and rain and how waterproof it is. It doesn't say it's waterproof or rainproof, but it does have a fantastic tough feel to it. This is the sort of thing a tradesman would be great to use, to have this as something they can sort of batter around or drop in a tool bag with other tools and other bits of equipment. And I really do feel that because the strength of it and the toughness, it feels like it would withstand a lot of sort of physical abuse. So anyway, back to the box. So it comes with this desktop charger. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you'll notice and probably remember that I've made comments about the wiring and the plugs on them. Well, this is the first radio that I've had that comes with a charger where it comes with proper electrical double insulated flex. So straight away I'm thinking, yeah, this is going to be a better quality radio and safer as well. Now obviously the plug is the wrong sort of plug. This is going to be, it's like a Chinese plug, isn't it? And they send you the adapter. Fits really well, holds in place, and you could always change that to a UK plug if we wanted to. But definitely the proper cabling, I'm very impressed with that. And when you place the radio in the charger, holds it very firmly, holds it straight. I like it a lot. Now the other thing is that I'm very surprised with this, is that the radio comes with 2 antennas. So with it being UHF, the smaller antenna isn't going to make as much difference as having the bigger antenna on because of the wavelength of the frequency of UHF. But it's great to have the option whereby if you are going to be talking a little longer distance and you want just a bit of a helping hand with particularly the receiver or something, then this antenna just screws in like so. And if it's just local stuff, local chit chat, this smaller stubby aerial goes in its place and looks just as good. This is the first radio that I've had where the antenna's right smack bang in the middle of the radio. But you know what? It actually looks quite good. I'm quite surprised with it. I've had this plugged in just to have a bit of a play with, and I've realised today when I've got it out of the workshop to come and do a video that I've actually left it switched on. So the battery life is clearly quite good, and this has been on for a couple of days. You've got the prompting of the voice.
3, 4.
It's a 16-channel radio. Now, in instructions and on the radio itself, it states that it's a 10-watt radio. So I'd be interested to find out what sort of range and how it performs. Now, one thing I can tell you is that you can change the power settings quite easily on this, just by pressing the button, programming mode button. That's the open squelch. It's the other button that I mean.
Power, low. Power, high.
So you can change it high and low power. Now if I turn this off for a second and have a look at the back of the radio, the sticker's saying power 10 watts, voltage 7.5 and frequencies 400 to 480 megahertz, and obviously it's the model A28. Now the battery itself is 3,800 milliamp hours. So with it being left on for a couple of days, you know, potentially, yeah, it really is as good as it says it is. The back of the radio, it's all aluminium, and even without the battery on, it feels really good quality. It feels quite sturdy, feels quite tough. And the battery goes onto the side, or onto the back rather, and the whole thing just slides up. And it's got a very reassuring click on that, and I like it because I've had a cheaper radio a while ago, and the battery it kind of felt like it was just coming apart from the radio, and it didn't really give you that reassurance. And you want that because the bell clip itself is attached to the battery, so you don't want to be losing the radio away from the battery. But with this radio, you don't get that feeling at all. I'm not sure what frequency this is transmitting on. It's going to be pre-programmed to the usual standard frequencies that you get. Unfortunately, I don't know what those are because I can't read it. So I can't even try it out, receive or transmit. But so far, I've been pleased with it. So there we go, we've got two antennas. We've got the desktop charger. Now, looking through the instructions, it goes through the programming and the function settings with it. You've got the usual monitoring button, which we found, the open squelch. It tells you a little about the scan, so it's got a scan facility on this as well, and it's got priority channel scan, so if you want to select certain channels it will scan those. All these things are going to be programmable via PC, so you won't be able to do it on the terminal. It's not like it's got a keypad on it or anything. It's got the standard CTCSS and CDCSS codes on it. It's got the high and low power switchable, which we've seen. You can also change it from wide to narrow band. You've also got the busy channel locking, the BCL. So if the channel is occupied, you're not going to be able to transmit and talk over someone basically. So it's got the usual DTMF encoding, voice activation, alter the squelch level, and it's got the TOT, which is the transmission time. So it won't, if you want to set it so it won't transmit for more than 30 seconds or 1 minute or 2 minutes at a time, it won't allow you to do so. It's got the voice prompts that we've heard, very clear compared to some of the other models that we've had. Battery saving mode, if you want to put it into like a low power usage, battery save, then you can do so. And also with this, if you have this radio programmed, this A28, you can connect this directly to another A28 and basically just copy and clone from the one radio to the other, save having to go through PC. And reprogram it all again. So it's got some very good features on this. It's also got this scrambler, you know, the encryption where you talk and it encrypts it from one radio to another. That's going to be an interesting one to listen to. I think it's the Bofeng 888 that I've used that before, and most radios use the same kind of encryption. It's not a true encryption, just kind of jubbles it up a little bit, but still, it's quite a nice feature. Depending on the frequency, you can't use that on amateur radio, obviously. So, yeah, then the book will tell you about the various bits you can get, programming, etc. It tells you here that you can get the cloning cable, so you can connect this from one radio to the other, and it shows about the programming cables you can get, which I still need to get. So all in all, from what I've seen from it so far, I'm really impressed. One of my past radios, the Veta, this is a similar one, but it's a lot lighter, a lot cheaper. This was one of my favourites that I use until the A28 came on. and this has now topped it. Sure, this is a little bit heavier, but you feel the quality in this one. So I'm hoping that will outperform this one in many ways, and I'm sure it will do, to be honest. The Veta is still a very good radio, but we'll have to see, won't we? See what happens. Zastone's a company that I've fairly recently discovered. I've been using the V-77 model as well. Now this is incredibly light and thin. This is a lovely radio to use, and this one performs really well. This is the same sort of spec as the A28, but it's only 3 watts, not the 10. And it's got a fixed antenna. There's quite a few reviews on YouTube for this radio, so I've not done one on it. Lewis, Ringway Manchester, he's done a great review on this radio, so it's well worth popping to his channel to have a look at that review. Yeah, lower powered, but great. And also this one, it can be charged via USB. So that's really handy. So whilst you're travelling in your car, stick your car phone charger into there and charge the radio up. You don't have a desktop drop-in charger. So I think that's pretty much all I can say about this at the moment. I think this is going to have an element of waterproofiness, weatherproof. Won't be able to dunk it in water, but I'm sure the way this is built and the way it feels, I'm sure this is going to be kind of rainproof a little bit. I'll have to try and find that out. So that's it really. Hopefully very soon I'm going to get hold of a programming lead. I'll be able to get this programmed, and then I'm going to do some range tests on this. Going to go for a bit of a drive, bit of a walk, and see what sort of range I get. Excuse me. And what I'll be able to do is to compare it to radios like the V-77 and the Veta. This Veta, I believe, let me check, I think this is a 7-watt radio. This is an 8-watt radio. So it'll be interesting to see the different sort of ranges we get between a 3, an 8 and a 10-watt radio. That'll be very interesting to do. So hopefully that'll happen very soon. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll get back to you hopefully with a part 2 to this very soon. See you later.